Havenwood, nestled deep within the sprawling forests of the Pacific Northwest, a place seemingly forgotten by time. But Havenwood doesn't feel like the haven its name suggests. The welcoming sign at the town's entrance is weathered and faded, a stark contrast to the vibrant green of the surrounding wilderness. The main street, once bustling with life, now lies silent and still. It feels like a place holding its breath, suspended in a perpetual state of anticipation, waiting for a moment that will never arrive. The town square, once a hub of community activity, is now eerily deserted. Residential streets, lined with houses that once echoed with laughter and life, are now silent witnesses to an unknown tragedy. The silence is suffocating, a heavy blanket that smothers any attempt at sound. The empty windows of abandoned buildings stare out like vacant eyes, reflecting the desolation that has consumed Havenwood. It's as if sound itself is afraid to linger, fearing what it might awaken in this ghost town. Even the wind seems to whisper secrets rather than howl freely. The alleyways, once filled with the sounds of daily life, are now silent corridors of forgotten memories. Abandoned storefronts stand as hollow reminders of a once thriving community. Swing sets hang motionless in the playgrounds, their chains rusting in the damp air. Shop doors stand open to dust and emptiness, inviting the elements to reclaim what was once cherished. The interiors of these shops are filled with the ghosts of commerce, the faint echoes of conversations and transactions long past. It's as if everyone left mid-afternoon and never returned, leaving behind their lives, their belongings, and their stories. Cars sit abandoned in parking lots, their tires flat, their paint faded, silent testaments to a sudden departure. But what truly haunts are the posters, the faded, weathered remnants of a desperate search, faces of the missing, smiling from every surface, their hopeful expressions a painful reminder of what has been lost. They adorn telephone poles, shop windows, and bulletin boards, a constant presence in this town of absence. Asking, "Have you seen me?" A silent plea echoing through the empty streets. These paper ghosts are all that remain of those who vanished, their images slowly fading with each passing season. Their hopeful gazes a stark contrast to the emptiness, a haunting reminder of the lives that were once lived here. Each poster is a life paused, a moment frozen in time, a question mark hanging in the air, a story with no ending, a mystery that deepens with each passing day. The edges of the posters are torn and frayed, mirroring the unraveling of the town's history. The question hangs in the air, heavy and unanswered. Where did everybody go? What secrets does Havenwood hold within its silent streets and abandoned buildings? And will those secrets ever be revealed? Havenwood's tragedy wasn't a single event. People vanished one by one over decades. No struggle, no ransom, no bodies, just a void. Investigations led nowhere. No evidence, no clues, nothing to follow. The missing left behind cars, half-eaten dinners, and unfinished lives. The normalcy was the most disturbing part. Families were trapped in limbo, unable to mourn or move on. The phrase became a mantra, just gone. It was a surrender to the inexplicable, a quiet admission that the rules didn't apply here. The disappearances were clean, absolute, and terrifying. Over time, fear replaced community. Havenwood became a place defined by absence. It began in 1978 with Thomas Miller, a quiet lumberjack. He left for work one morning and never returned. His axe was found mid-swing in a pine, lunch pail unopened, coat folded nearby. No tracks, no struggle, just gone. The search turned up nothing. The sheriff's report offered no answers. Townspeople whispered about old legends, things in the woods. Miller's disappearance was the first tear in Havenwood's reality. It was a chilling prelude to the silence that followed. The ordinary had become terrifying. The town's sense of safety was shattered. After Miller vanished, paranoia crept in. The woods became menacing, shadows stretched longer. People locked doors, trust eroded, old stories resurfaced. Silent ones, beings who could take people without a trace. Adults now whispered what they once dismissed as folklore. Martha Gable, one of the last to leave, recalled her grandmother's warning. The forest has a hunger. The legends became a way to explain the dread. It was easier to believe in a curse than in random senseless loss. The whispers filled the void left by the unknown. Sheriff Frank Peterson, a man of quiet demeanor and unwavering resolve, took over the Havenwood Sheriff's Department in 1995. He came with the hope of a peaceful existence, a respite from the big city turmoil he'd left behind. He envisioned a life of simple duties, community service, and the occasional traffic violation. Little did he know, Havenwood held secrets darker than any he had ever encountered. The tranquility shattered when Jenny Carter, a bright-eyed high school student, vanished without a trace. Sheriff Peterson, still new to the town and its rhythms, treated it like any other missing person case, a procedure he had followed countless times before. He approached it with a methodical dedication, determined to bring Jenny home. He organized search parties, dividing the surrounding wilderness into meticulously planned grids, deployed search and rescue dogs, their keen senses sniffing through the undergrowth, desperately seeking a sign, and conducted countless interviews, hoping to glean any information, any clue that could lead to Jenny's whereabouts. He spoke to her friends, her teachers, her family, anyone who might have seen or heard something. All he found after weeks of relentless searching was her backpack, abandoned near the edge of the woods. Inside were her school papers, scattered and damp, and around the bag no footprints but her own, leading away from the path and into the dense forest. It was as if she had simply vanished into thin air. There was no sign of a struggle, no discernible scent for the dogs to follow, just a dead end, a frustrating and unsettling void. Over the years, a chilling pattern emerged. More people vanished from Havenwood, their disappearances shrouded in the same unsettling mystery. Each case echoed the last someone present, going about their day, and then, inexplicably, not, vanished without a trace, leaving behind only unanswered questions and a growing sense of dread. Peterson's initial professionalism, his dedication to procedure, slowly gave way to an all-consuming obsession. The unsolved cases gnawed at him, eroding his sense of duty and replacing it with a desperate need to understand. His office, once a symbol of law and order, transformed into a haunting shrine to the missing, a constant reminder of his failures. He desperately searched for patterns, for any connection between the victims, poring over files, connecting names and dates with red string, but found nothing. Only dead ends and frustrating inconsistencies. "It breaks you," he confessed to a colleague one night, his voice heavy with exhaustion. "You're supposed to find answers, to bring closure to the families. But here, in Havenwood, there are none, just empty spaces and lingering questions." The weight of the town's unsolved mystery, the collective grief and fear slowly crushed him, eroding his spirit and leaving him a shell of his former self. He began to feel that the land itself was the enemy, a malevolent force that preyed on the unsuspecting, swallowing them whole. Havenwood, once a promising haven, was revealed to be a place that ate people, a silent predator lurking beneath a veneer of normalcy. Sheriff Peterson, defeated and broken, finally realized he couldn't stop it, couldn't fight a force he didn't understand. He left Havenwood, abandoning his post, a testament to the town's dark power. With the departure of their sheriff, the town's fear deepened, solidifying the unsettling truth that Havenwood was a place where people disappeared and some mysteries were never meant to be solved. For years, the disappearances seemed random. Different ages, backgrounds, no clear link. But history teacher David Chen saw something else. He mapped every disappearance, cross-referenced with old records and legends. A pattern emerged. All occurred along a line tracing a buried, forgotten creek. Chen believed the land itself was the key. Every case, from Miller to the Hendersons, happened on or near this ancient scar. He brought his findings to Peterson. Finally, a pattern, but one that defied logic. The threat wasn't a person, but the place itself. The last to vanish, the one whose disappearance truly marked a turning point for Havenwood, was Amelia Vance. She was an artist, drawn to Havenwood's secluded beauty, its promise of untouched landscapes and quiet inspiration. She sought solace and creativity in the heart of nature. Unbeknownst to her, her quaint cottage sat directly on Chen's line, a nexus of whatever strange energy pulsed beneath Havenwood's surface. It was a place of convergence, a point where the veil between realities seemed thin. In 2016, her disappearance wasn't just another missing person case. It broke the town's spirit, shattering the illusion of safety and revealing the unsettling truth that something was deeply wrong in Havenwood. A neighbor, George Croft, an elderly man who had lived in Havenwood his entire life, claimed he saw her at dawn on the morning she disappeared. The mist hung heavy in the air, shrouding the woods in an ethereal glow. She was standing in her garden, amidst the overgrown flowers and tangled vines, staring intently at the woods, her gaze fixed on the dark, impenetrable tree line that bordered her property. He called out to her, a friendly greeting, but she didn't respond, lost in her own world, just stood still, completely mesmerized by something unseen, something beyond the ordinary. 5 minutes later, when George looked again, she was gone, vanished without a trace. Her easel, her gardening gloves, and other art supplies remained, scattered as if she had simply stepped away for a moment. Inside her cottage, her journal's final entry read, a chilling testament to her state of mind in the days leading up to her disappearance. I can hear it now. It's not a sound, not like anything I've ever heard before. It's a feeling, a vibration deep within my bones. The land is calling to me. It wants me to listen, to understand what it's trying to say. Her words spread panic throughout Havenwood, fueling the growing unease and confirming the town's deepest fears. The town's fear became certainty, a collective understanding that something sinister was at play. The land itself was predatory, not just a silent witness, but an active participant in the disappearances. Chen's map and Amelia's journal, seemingly unrelated pieces of a larger puzzle, gave the whispers a voice, transforming vague anxieties into tangible dread. The ordinary had become a warning, every shadow, every rustle of leaves, a potential sign of something malevolent lurking just out of sight. Havenwood's fate was sealed, its reputation forever tarnished by the unexplained disappearances and the pervasive sense of dread. The silence grew, heavier and more oppressive with each passing day, a constant reminder of those who had vanished and the secrets that Havenwood refused to relinquish. Amelia's disappearance was the last straw. Her journal confirmed the town's worst fears. The land was the threat. The exodus began, slow but relentless. Families packed up, leaving behind homes and history. For sale signs appeared, but no one came. The school and stores closed. The town emptied out. We couldn't protect anyone, said Councilmember Sarah Jenkins. Leaving was the only way to survive. Within 2 years, Havenwood was a ghost town. Only a few stubborn old-timers remained, and they too disappeared or died. The town was surrendered to silence and whatever dwelled beneath the soil. Today, Havenwood stands chained off, a monument to the unknown. Missing posters fade in the sun, their faces now ghosts. The stories of the vanished have become modern folklore, but for families, it's a wound that never heals. Was it a geological anomaly, a madness, or something older, something hungry in the land? Chen's map and Amelia's journal suggest a terrifying answer, but science can't explain it. The silence is the only answer you'll ever get. Some places are better left alone, abandoned to their secrets. In Havenwood, the darkness stared back and swallowed everyone whole, just gone.